Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Simchilla and I play Sims. And today we're in the world of Oasis Springs and we're going to do a little remodel on one of the houses here. It's Agave Abode, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. Let's get stuck in. So first impressions are typical EA build, really boring, really minimal, but it's pretty good for a starter home. We're not going to focus on being a starter home really today. I'm just going to focus on trying to give it a little bit of a makeover, make it a little bit more appealing, but not go too overboard so it's totally unaffordable. So I like to start off with kind of stripping it and starting from scratch, a nice blank canvas. So deleting all the windows, doors, landscaping, internal doors, stairs, allows me to kind of get a bit of a picture in my head of what I want to do. So new foundation, obviously I really like this foundation. I think it gives it a little bit of character, and I was trying to match it with a nice wallpaper that would kind of complement it, but I think a wood is probably the best bet. Sometimes a bit too much stone is a bit overwhelming and it's a bit sore in the eyes. So I did play about with using this one from Eco Lifestyle, but decided to go with a different swatch. I feel like this one, it brings a little bit more balance. It's not too overwhelming, and just getting a nice lighter colour of wood there. Got to get the roof tiles. I really like this stair from the Seasons pack and the accompanying banister fence. And I feel like adding columns can sometimes make more of a feature of an entryway. Sometimes without some sort of structure it can feel a little bit bare or a bit unfinished or a little bit kind of out of place, but this kind of defines the entryway and gives the house a little bit more character. And one thing I love to do in my builds recently is to add a little canopy on top. I used to do this in Sims 3 all the time, sometimes adding a bit of foliage on top, but not today. But again, I feel like it kind of gives that indoor-outdoor feel, and in a hotter world like Oasis Springs, I think it kind of makes sense. Like, it looks right, doesn't look out of place. Like maybe in like Copperdale or somewhere it wouldn't suit, but I think here with all the wood and the stone and the desert vibes, it looks really good. So again, just trying to get that entryway right here, starting on kind of introducing doors, introducing the windows, but also the proportions, because sometimes the 3 tile, 2 tile thing can be a little bit distracting or a little bit off-putting. From the cats and dogs pack, I really like these window sets, especially the light wood swatch on it. Sometimes I do find it difficult to get the right balance of windows on a build, because sometimes it can look really odd when you put too many windows or not enough windows, or even the shape of the windows or the size of the windows. You've got to get a good balance throughout, and then looking at different sides of the house, like, does this match up or does this look right from this angle? That's why I kind of like to do the windows before I do an internal floor plan, because I feel like I can work around the windows that way, and I'm not kind of trying to scramble and kind of make up for what floor plan I've decided to go with, and then struggling to get the right, windows. So yeah, now moving on to the internal floor plan. This was a 1 bed before, but there's plenty of room without even changing the actual size of the house itself to get 2 bedrooms in and a decent sized bathroom. I thought in the corner here there could be a kitchen with a kind of an L-shaped open dining living area and entranceway. To continue with the kind of like wood cabiny vibes, I decided to use the wood flooring from the cottage living. I really like this. It's really rustic and it's got that natural feel which I think carries in from the outside. So there's not too much of a jarring contrast from inside to outside, and vice versa. Placing the doors, I think this is fine. It's fairly simple. There's not much, to overcomplicate. And I like to start with kind of really neutral walls, and then as I go, I change the colours. Same with the lights, I do like really simple lighting, and then as I do each room up, I'll change the lighting and kind of create the vibe room by room instead of deciding then and there. It's also really important when you're building to get some good natural light to do the basics like the walls and the floors and the doors. So using those little spotlights, which are fantastic, I like to get a feel for the place. So I'm trying to do the kitchen layout. Not the best kitchen I've ever made, but I think with the space and with the simplicity kind of that I'm trying to go with, I think I did an alright job. I usually play in my own personal games with move objects on, so I'm trying not to do that here, and I forgot how I feel really spoiled using move objects now because I forgot how difficult it is to actually place items with the restrictions of like where the doors are or the arches are or whatnot. But yeah, I'm just keeping the kitchen really simple, really basic. I kind of think that I imagine this build is maybe a house that needed to be remodelled. Maybe it's being remodelled to sell on. So for that reason, everything's being made quite simple. Oh yeah, and I just decided here that maybe the windows were too high up, so just lowered all the windows around the house. Moving on to curtains, I hate doing curtains on these windows. That's the only thing. I really do like that one from the cottage living, but I decided to go with this one from the cats and dogs. Again, just really simple, really plain, and easy. Adding a little bit more character in to the kitchen just with a little wall unit there. I really like that one actually from the Parenthood. I think it gives a nice little bit of design character to a kitchen. And I thought just at the front would be a really nice dining area. Makes sense as it's right beside the kitchen, and it's also a good size. It doesn't get in the way, because sometimes I feel like in my builds I'll end up putting forgetting about the dining room and then putting it wherever I can find, and it doesn't often work very well. So yeah, just trying to find the placement of the table. I can imagine this being really simple again, kind of leaving up to the imagination of buyers. Adding a nice little feature light, like a little pendant light, and obviously a little plant on top. I love putting a plant in the middle of a table. I think it just finishes it off. And then a little bookcase. I do like this wee bookcase from the base game. Always got to have a doormat. I feel like it just helps define an entryway. And I like to size them down because sometimes I think that these little doormats are quite large. And tucked away in this bit, I thought would be a really good place for the living area. Just trying to get a nice area rug. I do like this one, but I find that there's only a few swatches from it I like, this one being one of them. And even then I find it difficult to pair it with sofas, because the sofas are just so awkward in shape, and the colour swatches aren't amazing. So yeah, I've kind of really gone very beige so far, so I was trying to inject a little bit of colour, which can be quite difficult. So I decided to, make the wall colour a little bit lighter so that any brighter colours would go a bit better with it instead of the kind of beige. Nice little TV and sideboard. And I thought in the corner it would be really nice to have a little table lamp. I quite like doing that when I've got two sofas and it kind of has a gap in the corner. It helps to brighten up the space as well. And then again, just playing around with the swatches, I kind of decided in the end to go with a blue theme. I'm trying to get the wood tones to match, but that can be quite difficult as well. But I quite like the really basic furniture, especially when you're just doing a quick remodel, because then when you're putting a family in that you want to play with, you can kind of customise it again, and you've not gone through all the effort of designing it a certain way and then it not suiting the family that you want to move in. And it gives you a bit of an idea of how to use the space. And then I spotted this lamp and I thought it was really cute, and it would tie in with the blue theme that I decided to go for. So I decided to put it in the dining room and try to tie in the dining room to the living area a little bit better, just doing a bit more of a neutral rug. And yeah, onto the bathroom. Usually I like to start with the kitchen and the bathroom because they're the essentials really, but I got a bit distracted by the living area there. So yeah, I thought about doing a nice vanity unit, but I wasn't sure how that would fare with the size of, or the placement of the bath and the shower, so I actually decided to change the vanity unit, pop in the shower in the corner, and actually add a wall in. I quite like to do that sometimes, especially when it's awkward placement for the shower. And just getting the lighting right as well. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I've got to have the lights in the same corners in the same place. And as you can see, I was really struggling here. A little bit of clutter, a little bit of decor, just to give it a little bit of character. I was looking for the moisturiser basket that came in an update, and I couldn't find it, and then I finally found it. I think those are really good things that have come in an update. It definitely was needed. Can help flesh out your builds a little bit. And I was struggling a little bit there with the placement of the plants, and then voila, decided plant needs to go in the corner. Makes so much more sense, looks better. And a nice little blind for the bathroom window. Got to have the toilet paper. Can't deprive your Sims of that. And I love that little bathroom shelf unit from, I believe, Tiny Living. Moving on to bedrooms, I decided to give the main bedroom that darker beige swatch, because I feel like it makes it a bit more cosy, a bit more intimate. And then I was trying to get like a grey matching side tables, and I felt like these ones from the base game really tied in with the modern kind of vibe. Love to add the wall lights, and like I said, a nice pendant light gives it a really nice cosy vibe. Thought about putting a picture above the bed, but I really struggled. Then I realised I don't use these a lot. I was intrigued, and they had desert swatches, which I thought was quite fitting, so I decided to go with one of them. A nice rug for the end of the bed, helps define the space, love it. And I thought in here maybe you could have a little office space because it is quite a big bedroom. I don't think I went with that in the end. But just trying to find a nice chest of drawers is so difficult sometimes. But I really do like that one from Cottage Living with the mirror. I think it's really sweet. So I decided to get the table out there and put it on an angle in the corner. It helps to block off the space a little bit and adds to that cosy vibe. Really neutral curtains I wanted in here. I wanted white, but I didn't like the gold curtain rail. I also didn't like that blue swatch, so going with these little simple ones. And I also quite like, they're quite sweet tied back. And I thought a wee armchair, you know, something where your sons can throw their clothes onto. Don't know if you do that. And a little lamp. And I decided that this second bedroom that I created would be a kid's bedroom. I just decided to make up a pink girly bedroom. Love this little rug with the clouds on it. It comes in a blue swatch as well, I believe. And then trying to find a good bed, but I find the pinks are so hard to match. But this one from the university, it's really simple, so I feel like it can go quite well with a lot of different colours of pink. And then trying to find where on earth to put this bed in this room. I decided just off centre with a little side table, trying to get a nice lamp, but then I realised I'd use that in the living room and it looks odd to me, so I needed to find something else. And I quite like the little whimsical plant light. I think it's quite sweet. Chest of drawers from the high school years, and Parenthood mirror. Gotta have a Blarfy and a toy box. Just again, really simple, really basic, something that your Sims can use, but you can also change up if you want to, but it just gives you an idea of how the space can be used. I thought it just needed a little bit of artwork in here. Just really hammer home, this is the kids' bedroom. So I really like these wall decals. I decided to put the wee princess one over in that corner beside Blarfy. And then where to put this desk, so getting a really simple office chair. I didn't like it because it was a bit short and narrow in there, so I decided to off-centre it in the corner. Again, I think that helps to not make this space seem so square and rigid. And then moving on to a tiny bit of landscaping on the tiny bit of land that we have. Just again, keeping it really simple. I actually struggle with the placement of these again because I've spoiled myself with move objects. But I wanted something that said we do water our garden, but not a lot. So it is patchy. I'm sticking with those vibes. Just trying to get a nice placement. I do struggle with the landscaping sometimes, especially when I'm trying not to spend a lot of money, because you can spend a heck of a lot of money on landscaping without even trying. And I decided I quite like these from the cats and dogs. I thought it tied in with the desert world. I believe it's some sort of succulent, and then from the base game some more succulent kind of plants, because I think these would be kind of native to the area. And I thought maybe a bit of height, so adding in some rocks, giving it a little bit, adding to that kind of desert vibe. You can see the rocks on the right hand side, so it made sense. And then a bit of height, like I said, using the cypress trees, sizing them down, trying to get a bit of variation. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe and give this video a like if you can.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness.